episode of Ask the Healthcare Advocate. Live, where every Sunday morning I answer questions and review some really important information about the Israeli healthcare system and healthcare advocacy in general. So, last week I got a bit ahead of myself and I jumped in and talked about Bituach leumi and disability and how you can apply for it in Israel after you've been here for 1 year as a citizen. But I realized that I need to take a step back and just briefly put things into perspective so people know who's taking care of what, because I got a bunch of questions this week, which made me realize that I need to put a little bit more of a global perspective on things and how things fit into place. I also put in the description here a link to a lecture I did a few weeks ago for a community center in Jerusalem, doing an introduction to healthcare navigation in Israel, which you might find helpful, because then I can really go into more specifics and you can see really how things fit into with each other, etc. But I just want to give an overall of what Bituach leumi is. So, Bituach leumi is the arm of the government that offers people it's called the National Insurance Plan or organization, and they handle all of the most of the healthcare related items for the government through the Kupot Cholim, as well as all of the other social benefits that you are entitled for: unemployment, and if you've been hurt in an accident, if you've been hurt on the job, if you need to go to go onto bed rest for whatever reason, if you are unable to take care of yourself after the age of retirement, your retirement benefits, all of that is handled by Bituach leumi for the individual. Now, they are like a subcontractor, as I said, for the government to offer you all things social and health related in terms of providing you with money, not direct care. But sometimes they also are able to offer you more, now I shouldn't say direct care, but they can offer you other benefits in addition to money. But the main goal of Bituach leumi is to be able to decide who is eligible for which government stipend, how much, for how long, and when. So when you think that you're eligible for one of these stipends, and you've been told by a social worker, or you found out by yourself, or you've been told by a post-aliyah coordinator or whatever, then I always recommend to people to apply, because you don't know. Now, it's important to understand that Bituach leumi has two criteria to determine whether somebody is eligible. First, you have to meet the medical criteria, and you have to meet the financial criteria. Now, for each stipend that Bituach leumi offers, the financial criteria is different, meaning if you're applying for disability, the amount of money that you can earn is different than if you're applying for something called Gimlat Siyud, or assistance for long-term care after retirement age, which is different from if you're asking for money because you had a work-related injury and you get a one-time payment that you're eligible for. They all have different financial cutoffs. So that's why it's very important to apply and find out if you're eligible for that specific benefit. That's the first thing. The second thing is to remember that if you're talking about anything having to do with taxes, meaning you have to pay Bituach leumi, you pay into Bituach leumi system either through automatically as a percentage of your salary statement that your employer has to manage. You pay in independently if you are working independently as a freelancer or for yourself. And third, if you don't have a job, you still need to pay into Bituach leumi. Right now, it's 174 shekels a month, and that's sort of the minimum you have to pay. It goes up to 200 shekels if you are retirement age and you are getting Social Security. That is a newish rule that was just implemented as of January of 2020. So it's important to make sure that you are paying into the system if you are not getting a salary receipt from your employer. That's after the first year of Aliyah. So I should have started with that this morning. That is very, very important. that you have to make sure that you are paying into Bituach leumi so that you're also going to be able to get the benefits. Because someday they will review and they will see that you haven't paid, and it could be that you owe a back payment of a lot of money. However, just saw this question a couple of times. If you are interested in getting tax benefits back from the government because you were not earning enough money, that is through Mas Haknasa, or the ministry, the tax ministry. It doesn't have anything to do with Bituach leumi. However, point to note is that if you are independent and working for Bituach leumi and paying into Bituach leumi, you should check out if you can be paying less for Bituach leumi because of Corona, because maybe you paid in too much, because they do it on an estimate based on how much you think you will make, not retroactively on how much you actually paid. Yeah. So that is in a nutshell what Bituach leumi is offering you. Feel free to ask me any questions here. If I didn't clarify something, you can send me a private message. You can make a comment and send me other questions that you might have. Happy to answer. Thanks so much for joining us on Ask the Healthcare Advocate Live every Sunday. And please join us next week as we continue the conversation.